1 week in, there can be some debate, but QB1 lives in Kansas City, and there is a lot to getting this defense squared up for the big competition against the Chargers. It's a short week. We got a lot to cover. Let's get after it. Welcome to Locked On Chiefs.
From the land of the free and the home of the Chiefs, this is the Locked On Chiefs podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Victory Monday. We have a ton to go over, including how the quarterback ranked up against the rest of the league with one game yet to play. We are recording before Monday Night Football. We're brought to you by PrizePicks. It is the easiest way to play daily fantasy sports with just pick them. 2 to 5 guys, you're done. Deal. You get 100% discount deposit bonus, that is, on the code Locked On right now at prizepicks.com or with that app. Check it out. We have a lot to go over. Chiefs, obviously, in the news, especially with the demise of guys like Dak Prescott getting hurt, a lot of quarterback play that wasn't up to par. Patrick obviously was. We're going to talk about that. What the defense did in order to produce that win and what the Chargers have lying in wait. We're going to get into it all. I'm Ryan Tracy, the founder of Rogue Analytics, Performance Consulting, NFL33.com, as well as RGRFootball.com.
And I'm Clark, founder of Chiefs Corner. You can find me over there. And there is a little bit to talk about when it comes to QB1, who I think resides at One Arrowhead Drive. Just a little bit of controversy on Monday.
This is a great topic because I came away obviously happy. We talked post game about how Patrick was dealing and how this whole myth. I thought honestly, even as late as last night, that what we were going to be talking about today was, oh, look what happened to Tyreek. Do they really need him anymore? But no, PFF decided to come out and do something a little bit outlandish and has fired up all of Chiefs Kingdom. I am not getting in this fight. You guys have heard my opinion on PFF grades for a very long time. I don't generally go by them at all. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of Chiefs Kingdom does and a lot of the nation does because stats are stats. They are mathematically provable. Interpretation is very, very different. And I think that's what it comes down to. They had Patrick Mahomes this morning, I believe, is it 7 or 8? I can't remember which. It doesn't matter because he's clearly won. And that's really, I think, the disparaging difference between these things, right?
I would say so. 5 touchdowns, 360 yards, 12 yards per completion, 10 yard, just insane numbers. I really don't know how you even try to argue that he was not QB1, at least in week 1. The rest of them 3 interceptions. I mean, the people that everybody wanted to anoint was Joe Burrow, saying he's the next Tom Brady and all this. And 4 interceptions and a fumble. And say what you want about Cincinnati, but supposedly they fixed their offensive line. And look at what Pittsburgh did to that offensive line. They destroyed it.
It absolutely did. And we're not here to bag on Joe Burrow, but I think that he's gone out of the conversation for a little bit. I'm sure he'll recover. That Steelers defense, they get pretty fired up to play those Bengals. But when you look at the top 5 quarterbacks who threw the most touchdowns, there are 1, 2. Yeah, I got it right. There are 5 that threw 3 or more touchdowns in week 1. Obviously, Russell Wilson still has yet to play, and we all know that. But of them, there are only 2 quarterbacks who did not throw an interception. One, Patrick Mahomes, and the other is Justin Herbert, who they get to play on Thursday night. Carson Wentz threw a lot. Jamar Chase threw a lot. Josh Allen threw multiple picks. There's a lot of discussion here. And
Chase.
I'm sorry, did I say Jamar Chase? Lamar Jackson, excuse me.
Sorry,
Lamar, not Jamar. I got Bengals on the brain, evidently. Hey, thanks, Jake.
I was a little confused.
That.
Sorry.
But this is what's so ludicrous to me. Is like, if you want to talk about ranking performances, first take the guys who didn't throw interceptions at all and put them at the top of the list. Throw everybody else out. Because it's about protecting possessions.
Here's a stat for you, and this is from NFL Research. I'm reading it from my phone. Patrick Mahomes is one of 6 players in the NFL history with at least 6 career games with 5+ TD passes. Now, hold on. I'm not done. I tweeted this out from Locked On Chiefs earlier, so you can go find it there. He has played in 64 career games. He's one of 6. He's played in 64 career games. Each of the others to do so have played in at least 240+ total career games. Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and Dan Marino. The only other 5 QBs, and they played in 4 times the amount of games.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I mean,
and I said this. I said this also on Twitter. Just real quick, I said this also on Twitter. I still think he has 2.5 more of those games this season.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fair.
Just because I think he is playing at a super petty level right now, and I think he is pissed off. I think he was pissed off before that game. I think he's going to continue to be pissed off. And the narrative that he is one of the top 8 QBs from Sunday, I don't think is really going to help the NFL. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean,
QB1 has a petty streak in him, and I absolutely love it. I'm here for it.
I'm glad that you are. I mean, and that's really what it takes. You could see that he was counting. He was trying to make his point. Hey, you made me number 8 before the season. I think PFF had him at 8 this morning. They put him at 8 on the 100 list. Like 8's a bad number, I guess, for Patrick. So let's go with 5. Let's get to 3. Let's end up at 1. That's perfectly fine. In the end, it brings the whole team along for the win. And I think, again, when you go back to having 10 guys targeted, 9 guys making receptions, like when Sky Moore is a rookie who gets 1 target, makes 1 reception for 30 yards, that is saying something about the efficiency of the offense, in that the guy who knows it the least is ready to make a contribution immediately. Unlike some of the other quarterbacks in this league, Burrow included, Aaron Rodgers specifically, the difference being it is the quarterback.
Yeah, and Sky Moore's reception, I want to give him props because that was a great run by him. It wasn't, don't get me wrong, Patrick's throw was great. That's on Patrick. But Moore's yards after the catch were also impressive. His ability to get cut and make his move, I think, was very impressive. And I'm excited to see what he's able to add to this offense because it's going to be a different dynamic than what they have elsewhere.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now, there are a couple lingering injuries. We're going to talk about the update that we got. Nothing directly from Andy Reid today, but on the backside of this, we will give you the update because it is important for Thursday. But first, got to tell you about the people that make life easy, and it is a game changer at PrizePicks. Right now, whether it's as we start taping before Monday Night Football, Russell Wilson at 255 over under. Justin Herbert against the Chiefs on Thursday, under over 285. All you got to do with PrizePicks is make your life simple and go pick those overs and unders. Pick 2 to 5, and you get to roll in to what you want to do in this projection. That's all it is. You can make 10 times your money on every entry. There's no lineups to change. There's no head-to-head competition. It's just you against the production of your players. PrizePicks makes the projections. You just pick yay or nay, up or down, back or forth. Entries can be done in 60 seconds or less. They're safe and fast withdrawals, and they're currently available in 30 states plus Canada. All you have to do is go get the PrizePicks app at prizepicks.com or any app store and sign up now for daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% deposit bonus. That's you put 100 in, they give you 100. You put 50, they give you 50. Don't forget, the only way to do this is at PrizePicks or with the PrizePicks app with that promo code Locked On. Go get the easiest way to do daily fantasy sports right now at PrizePicks. And then when you're feeling pretty good, but you want a little bit more, go ahead and help your health by getting on to AG1. That is the product from Athletic Greens that we've all tried and we've adopted. I've added it to my daily routine with my coffee. It gives you everything that you need to start the day and really set your nutrition ahead for that day. Gives you everything from immune response, gives you clarity of thought, helps with your cognition, helps with your digestive system, gives you that energy that you need to get through the day in a super healthy way by providing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. All this goes to make your life easier. And for the price of that cup of coffee, you can get all that and more. It helps you in every facet of your daily life and gets you ready to watch football so that you can actually understand the game better, see more while it's on screen, and get through it. All you got to do is act right now to reclaim your health and get your immune system back on track with convenient daily nutrition over at 1 scoop into 1 cup of water, shake, drink, done. Super easy. And that's what they're trying to do by giving you a free year supply of immunosupporting vitamin D supplement and 5 free travel packs of the AG1 product. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NFL network. Yes, that is athleticgreens.com/NFL network to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate in daily nutritional insurance. Insurance is what they need right now in Kansas City because there was a slew of injuries. Now, it looks like a couple of them have self-corrected. Willie Gay Jr. was fine last night. He should be fine as well. Today, it was limited practice, but a practice for Trey Smith. I know a lot of folks were concerned about that. And when it comes to protecting Mahomes and letting Mahomes do his things, that's what you got to have. The 2 question marks Go ahead.
Real quick though, they didn't practice today. This was a example practice report of what they think that it was going to be. So I just want to throw that out there because Trey Smith, they're figuring he would have been limited. Butker did not practice. Trent McDuffie did not practice.
Right.
But then you have a slew of guys that they were figuring would have been limited in participation. So just want to make that clarification because I know we'll hear about it if we don't. So
yeah, that's true. Sorry, I got a little carried away there because I wanted to get through all that to say that I am concerned about Trent McDuffie at this point. I thought he played a very good game. I thought he was there on par with Fenton and Snead that they needed him to be. And that loss against the Chargers is going to be difficult. And that's where I'm trying to get. So you're right. Had it been here today, wouldn't have practiced. Does that change tomorrow? We don't know. We hope so, but we don't know.
Yeah, I'm figuring he's not practicing. I'm figuring he's out this week, just based on the fact that he was taken from the game and did not come back. So I'm guessing he's out. The rest of there's other big fish to fry. I mean, you look at the Chargers, the game against the Chargers, Orlando Brown would have been a limited participant today. That's a big one. And Trey Smith is another one. I mean, those are two big guys that you just really cannot afford to miss. Juju would have been limited as well. We'll see how that is affected on Tuesday's practice report, which Ryan will talk about with Matt on Wednesday's show.
Absolutely.
But lots of questions when it comes to injuries going into this game. And I still am of the opinion that if they think that this ankle thing with Butker is going to be a long-term thing, like a semi-long-term thing, maybe they put him on IR and they bring him back after 4 weeks.
Yeah, maybe.
They have an extra roster spot. They could do that too. I mean,
yeah. And that's what makes me think maybe they don't need to. Dave Tobe said today that he's comfortable with Justin Reed taking these kicks out to like 43 yards. That's certainly doable with the Pat Mahomes offense. Like, I don't think that that's a severe limitation, in my opinion.
Well, and I guess that's probably accurate. I guess the problem is that you're going into a game against the Chargers where every point could matter.
True.
And that extra point that Justin Reed missed was horrible. And I don't know why he missed it so bad, but
it's because he's not a kicker.
Well, no, I get that. But there was something, I'm sure, in the form that was horrible about it. But I don't know what that is.
Yeah. I'm not even going to venture there because it's going to be challenging and it may change tomorrow. The other big thing is confirmation that Patrick's fine, that it's not going to be a major deal. We'll see how he actually approaches practice here before Thursday night. My guess
he would have been a full participant. Yeah.
Right. My guess is he might have a wrap on it. I mean, I think even with a splint, they probably would have designated him something more drastic than full. So we'll verify that tomorrow, but it's shaping up for on a day when the quarterbacks, this one in particular, wasn't given a whole lot of respect. The two guys that were actually the most productive out of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league and the only ones not to throw interceptions are the guys playing each other on Thursday night. That's going to be a matchup that we have to get through in a way that helps us help themselves. Part of those goes into defensive rotation because that's really what the key was for this defense. When you take a look at what happened, it's about pressure. And you guys know that I always say this. If you're new to this show, make sure that you like, sub, and hit the bell on YouTube and get subscribed on the audio platforms. But if you're new to this show and you haven't heard me say it before, pressure puts you in position to make sacks. Sacks is not the end-all, be-all. It's about being in the vicinity. They had 6 guys. Each get 6 pressures in this ballgame, according to both. I double-checked it in 2 of the stat alliances. Just wanted to say that. And that is obviously the expectation from Chris Jones would be one of the leaders he was. George Karlaftis was as well. And that was due, I think, to George Karlaftis playing more snaps than Chris Jones did. And when you look at the rotation, it was 36 for Karlaftis. I think Frank came in a little bit lighter at 24, 20 for Dunlap. And here's the kicker. 27 snaps for Mike Danna, who was the third guy with 6 pressures on the day. That's significant when you have guys producing like that. That rotation is going to be key this week as well.
No, it's absolutely going to be key. And I think the big thing to take away, don't read too much into the snap counts for this game because by the third quarter, that game was basically over.
Yeah.
So, taking snap counts into account for that, it's going to be really hard to make a judgment. I do agree. I think Frank Clark wasn't playing near as much as they were wanting him probably to, but at the same time, he was dealing with an injury or with an illness earlier this week, so that could have played into it. And at the end of the game, he really wasn't needed. So why have him out there? Carlos Dunlap, we've talked about his injury with the Achilles. You have to be careful of that. He's one of the guys that got a sack, and he got a sack because of Chris Jones. Mike Danna, I think, played very well. I mean, you look at the pressure he was able to give Kansas City. I think that's fantastic. And Karlaftis is a rookie. They're going to put him out there as many snaps as they can get away with just to see what he can do against the NFL competition. And because he's young and he needs to learn. And the only way to learn is to actually go up against that competition. And I think he showed that he can play in this league and maybe play very well. I mean, yeah, he didn't get home. Yeah, he didn't get the sacks. But pressure causes issues with quarterbacks. And he did get – the one thing I really loved is they were talking about how he used to be a goalie in water polo. And then right after that, he knocked down a ball. That was just great timing.
Yeah, the length adds up, right? That's what you're looking to have. And when we talk about pass blocking, he's going to get to go against Rashawn Slater, who is a very, very good tackle. And he's going to get to go against Trey Pipkins, it looks like, at least if they continue the lineup that we saw here yesterday. That bodes really well for George getting something done. Pipkins is not the player that Slater is, but Slater's not perfect either. So I think the youth there gives George an option that I think he can get something done. That's going to be really interesting to see as he attacks. And attack is what they have to do. We have some matchups. We're going to start talking about these Chargers and what they have to do and what they did yesterday as well right after this.
BetOnline is the number one source for all of your pro and college football betting needs and sports info this season. Find all of the latest league developments, game matchups, news, and podcasts. There is a ton out there right now about the Broncos game against those Seattle Seahawks tonight, so be sure to go check them out. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. The fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports events, like Ryan's favorites, MMA, boxing, and he loves his golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Golf, huh? Really? That's what you pegged me? I do want to pick that game up. I have a good friend that is really on me to start learning that.
Yeah, I don't see you as a golfer. I see you as a guy that wants to go sit out on the range and drink a beverage or two.
I drive the hell out of a cart, man. I'm going to tell you right now.
Exactly. I'm sure you do. And you may have one for your house considering where you've been living in the past. But
I need one.
Yeah. So you start looking at what this game is going to mean for Kansas City. Obviously, they're both teams are 1-0. And that's great for Kansas City to get that win. It was an easier win. And they got a lot of youth experience in that game, which I think is going to play well for them later on. I think that's also something to take away.
Yeah, you will get absolutely no argument from me because this becomes about – this can set the whole pace for the AFC West race. Yes, they beat the Raiders yesterday. That was the expectation. Quite frankly, I come away from that ball game feeling like the Chargers underperformed. And,
I do too.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to hear that we agree there. The one place they didn't underperform, unfortunately, is their pass rush duo of Bosa and Mack. And they're going to get to go against Wiley. Wiley, I thought, played solid, but he did have the probably the least smooth game of any of the offensive linemen. I thought Creed Humphrey was on fire. Joe Tooney looked like perpetual Joe Tooney. Yep. I think Wiley's going to get the brunt of any designed attack is my opinion.
And I thought Brown played pretty well as well. I think that it's from what we were concerned about, I think he's cleaned up a lot. And I think that he's going to be playing even better the rest of the season. It's going to be a good test for him. I'm really excited to see this test for him. And I know that people are scared about him going against Bosa and Mack, and I get it. But this is a great test for him. This is a great, try to figure out where is he actually compared to the other left tackles in the league. And you're sitting here in a situation where, okay, well, they're playing against two of the premier pass rushers. Mack was a premier pass rusher. I'm not saying he can't be that guy. I'm not saying that he wasn't that guy week one. It's the question of, is he going to stay healthy? Yeah. And that's the same question you got with Bosa. If both those guys are going to be healthy the entire game and they're going to create issues, that's just the reality of it. But Kansas City also showed a couple of things in that game that I don't think that the Chargers would have figured were going to be an issue. And that's mainly, in a lot of ways, being able to run the ball and run the ball effectively.
Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at Bosa and Mack, even though, like you said, they still accounted for 5 sacks, running the ball is going to take some of that wind out of their sails. I think that what we saw was like the foundational look at it, right? Like if they can build upon that, and I think they want to, that will take, I think, part of the advantage away on the edge.
Yep. Yeah, and it also makes you wonder about where the ball's going to go because Mahomes, I think that's the other thing is I think Reed was setting up a lot of things for the Chargers. They said specifically that they used that week between the last preseason game and this game to also prepare for the Chargers game because they knew it was a short week. They wanted to be ready for it. So I guarantee you Reed had things dialed up in that Chargers game just so the Chargers, or sorry, dialed up in the Cardinals game just for the Chargers, just so he put it on tape. And whether or not he has, I guarantee he has more in store for just the Chargers that he's going to bring out that we haven't seen yet. And using all the 2 tight ends, using Gray, using Fortson, using Gray and Fortson together without Travis Kelce, I think that happened several times. I'm not going to say it happened a lot, but it happened several times. Yeah. This team is starting to get to a point where they're giving Travis that rest.
And that's all you can ask for. To still be productive while you're doing that, that's what it comes down to. The Chargers are going to have a problem being productive. Keenan Allen left the ballgame with an injury. He would not have practiced today if I'm reading that sheet correctly. You tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Doesn't look like he would have. J.C. Jackson is not back for them either. So they have a top corner and their top receiver are both out. And the expectation is I don't think either of them get back by Thursday. So you're once again where you have to do as much as you can while you have the advantage. And that doesn't mean that you're not still susceptible. Mike Williams is still out there. We've seen him dominate even long, tall corners in the Kansas City uniform over the last couple of years. So it is about, without Trent, what can you do? And I'm not saying that Trent McDuffie, Byron Murphy, his old teammate, played for the Cardinals yesterday. I'm not saying Trent McDuffie isn't going to play, but you have to be prepared to be without it. I thought, shockingly enough, that Jalen Watson outplayed Josh Williams yesterday. And I don't know what that means for who comes in fourth. Maybe that was just the way that it rolled, and maybe it was a 1-for-1 substitution, but we're going to find out because that is going to be something that's going to be on the board because you have to face Mike Williams.
Yep. No, it's definitely going to be something to watch. And I will say, I'm sitting here looking at the practice report for the Chargers, and it does look like you're probably right. It doesn't look like Keenan Allen or J.C. Jackson practiced. But I do want to say this really quick, just because it happened last year in Kansas City. I'm glad to see Donald Parham be back because that was a scary injury last year. He did not practice. But the one that really sticks out to me is sitting here looking at their injury report and looking at Rashawn Slater. I know he is a full participant with a back injury. But for a guy that you're going to build your offensive line around to have a back injury that you have to put on the injury report, this is his second season in the NFL, that is not a good sign. Yeah. And maybe I'm overreacting, but what was that?
Any back injury to a lineman. You're absolutely right.
Right. That's an issue.
Yeah. I mean,
if he's a full participant and he's playing through pain, that is going to cause issues for him.
Yeah. So that's absolutely right. And we have to hope that is something that A, for him is manageable, but B, for the Chiefs is still an advantage. That's what we're looking for. Right. We're going to get deeper into the details with Matt Derrick tomorrow as we actually hear from Andy Reid and we have some confirmation. And then we will have one more show to preload you for the ball game on Thursday night. We will be, I think, after the night. You tell me, Chris, maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but I'm guessing we're going to be live after the ball game on Thursday night.
Well, I'm going to be at the game.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. So I'm going to be live. You're going to be dialing in, or we'll find some way to do something. But it's going to be an interesting thing. If you missed it against the Cardinals, we were live post game. We will try to do that again. We'll figure out the time exactly when we can, as Eric Crocker wants to make sure that he's in on the action. Croc, I'll get back to you in a minute. But live is fun, and it's definitely different. It's instant takes that we will give you in a little bit different format than we normally do. Still be 3 segments like we always are, but it is bang, 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 our instant takes on the ball game. So be here on Thursday night if you don't have a chance to listen to the other shows this week.
Yeah, and just so you know, I will be at the game. If you guys want to try to hit me up, I will be there. I'll be there. I think it sounds like, from the people that I'm going with, it sounds like we're going to be getting there at 1 o'clock or 1:30 to get into the parking lot. And yeah, we're going to.
Are you a lot D guy?
Huh?
Are you a lot D guy?
I have no idea what lot we're going to be in. I'm going
Okay.
with other people, so I'm along for the ride, quite literally in this scenario. So, yeah, I'll be there, and it'll be fun, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it, and who knows, maybe you and I will figure something out for maybe an extra bonus episode since we're going to be doing this.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun, folks. Get ready. I know it's a short week. It's going to be shotgun style this week. As much information as we can cram in the next 2 shows to get you ready for those Los Angeles Chargers. Thank you for your time. Make sure you like, sub, hit the bell on YouTube, and get subbed on the audio platforms. This is it. This is your team every day. This is Kansas City Chiefs football. Welcome back to the NFL season. Thanks for listening today. We'll talk to you tomorrow.